All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Top Line. It's your boy Chris, and man. The Brooklyn Nets have decided to fire Steve Nash. There's a lot to go into this when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets. I thought, if I'm just being honest, man, I felt like the Brooklyn Nets kind of gave him almost an impossible job. And I don't want to use the term impossible, but it felt like they almost gave him an impossible job, right? Because you come in, never coached a well to the water. You never coached nothing. And here's Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving go win a championship. That's your job. See, what I think Brooklyn felt that is they seen we got Kyrie, we got KD. We really need coach. Bring somebody in, man. Then I see him in the gym shooting a couple free throws. Kevin Durant, bring him on in. He'll be the coach. Because I got these two guys. And these two guys right here going to take over. And they just going to will us to a championship. And then you realize that was not, that just wasn't the case, man. I go all the way back to the podcast where Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving was sitting there. And Kyrie Irving go, man, we don't really even need a coach. You know, I can coach sometimes, you can coach sometimes. We don't really need a coach. And I thought at that moment right there was already trouble in the horizon. Because, for one, and I said this then, I said they undermined their coach immediately. If the star players, the leaders, don't buy into the coach, what the hell anybody else gonna do? They're the standard. They set the president. They set the They set the mood. They set the tempo. If they come in and lock in with the coach, all right, coach, what we doing? Boom, this is how we moving. Boom. Then the coach at that point is like, all right, cool. I command this. This is my show. But when you put something out there before that man even grabs his whistle, he's already at a disadvantage, man. The Brooklyn Nets just haven't performed up to par. It ain't no way around it. Ain't no beating around the bush. You know what I'm saying? Like, they haven't performed up to par. They just, whether it be injuries, whether it be holdouts, sit outs, whatever that is, they just haven't performed up to par. It's not been what anyone expected. So I'm gonna read the article here from the New York Post. Nets fire Steve Nash amid Kyrie Irving issues. Following 2 of 5 starting, which have gone completely sideways on and off the court, the Nets fired Steve Nash on Tuesday morning, the team announced. Assistant coach Jacques Vaughn will serve as interim coach on Tuesday night against the Bulls. Nash had a 9-67 record in his first career head coaching job, but will mostly be remembered for several controversies around his stars he was unable to quell. From Kevin Durant asking for his fire, Kyrie Irving refused to get vaccinated. Irving's retweet of the anti-Semitic film, subsequent lack of discipline, Nash seemed overwhelmed and unable to handle his star players. Nash, the team's coach in 2020, was the subject of requests from termination from Durant over the summer. The star forward also requested General Manager Sean Marks be let go. But the situation was said to have been smoothed over as Durant withdrew his trade request when it became clear that no other team could match what the Nets were asking for him. It finally caught up to him on Wednesday. So, pretty much they're going back to, and to me, I don't know how much Kevin Durant got to do with this. You know, he did come out and say, hey, get rid of Steve Nash, get rid of the Sean Marks, get rid of them, or else I want out. The owner said, click you, and you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I kind of feel bad for Steve Nash in the sense that I don't think he was ready. I don't think you can go from sitting on your couch to saying, hey man, go over here and coach the Brooklyn Nets, go win a championship. I just don't think it was he didn't go through none of the process. He was just boom head coach. So hopefully the Brooklyn Nets can sit down and they can do a fine tooth comb job of going through, picking out the right coach for this team. It's going to have to be someone with some chutzpah, right? That's going to have to say, hey, this is my team. This is how I'm controlling it. This is the plan going forward. it's hard, and it's hard for a guy like Steve Nash because Kevin Durant, whether like him or not, got a lot of power in that, which kind of got minimized when all this happened. But hey, but you dealing with star players is not easy, man, especially for a first time coach. But a star player, championship aspirations, first time coach, and then you add in the Kyrie Irving situation. Now, I don't know how much that played into this. I don't know where Steve Nash stood on all of this with Kyrie, but I ain't just talking about what's currently going on. I'm talking more about the Kyrie, from him, even in the bubble when he realized he couldn't go down. He had some things to say about the bubble and then last year, and then it was just a lot with Kyrie. That's a whole nother story. On his own. People ask me, Chris, why you haven't really talked about the Kyrie Irving situation and the recent things? Because I don't know enough, right? I don't know enough, right? I'm not just going to jump out there and just this. I have to know more. I have to do my research, especially on a topic so sensitive. I try to keep it positive. I try to keep it sports. When it starts to bleed over into other things, if I'm knowledgeable, if I'm passionate about it, I will speak on it. But when it's something I just don't know enough information about, I'm not going to speak on that. So, but as far as Steve Nash being fired, I hope he lands well. I think he should, if coaching is what he really want to do, if coaching is really what he want to do, I think he should take this as a learning experience, sit back with his people, sit back with his guys and be like, all right, where do we start? How do we build this? Because this you don't even want this on your resume. Because they're going to say it's going to be very rare for you to get the opportunity to coach talent of this level. And this just goes to show you just how important coaching is, right? Because you can have all the talent. Because it's like they said about Phil Jackson, as a coach, he wasn't really the best coach, but he was the best manager of behavior and individuals and stuff like that. So he was always able to say, you know what? Hey, Kobe, I need you to do this. Shaq, I need you to do this. Hey, nah, you gonna be able to do this. I need you to do this. This, Mike, you gonna have to do. Hey, Mike, you gonna have to pass this. Hey, Mike, this. He was almost better at that, and I don't know if Steve Nash was that guy. I don't think Steve Nash really commanded the locker room. I don't know. I wasn't really in there like that, but it just felt like a lot of time, even watching him, it was just like, and he was fighting uphill battle from the beginning, man. I'm gonna keep it real with you. He was fighting an uphill battle because you're talking about some different type of superstar. Like these two guys are, and these usually leaders of the team. Not taking nothing from them, man. Amazing athletes, but sorry to hear about Steve Nash getting fired. Hope Brooklyn Nets get this thing right for the sake of their organization and move forward and start to build something. With that being said, guys, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, you guys be great.